Okay, I'm at it again. This time I'm going to take the tires off the rims, clean up the rims a little bit, and then flip the tires over to even out the wear. They tend to wear a little more on the inside edge, closest to the airplane, just the way my landing gear is set up. So come along for the ride, I guess. And as usual, I'll remind you, I ain't no A&P, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Okay, step one, let the air out. Make sure that the valve stem doesn't go flying. There's lots of different ways to break the bead. I'm going to try this. That one just has to hold things in place. You don't need to break it all the way around. Just part way will do. So I'm only going to squeeze on the one side. I've got a Harbor Freight tire changer thing, but it's got a bead breaker, but it's just got a angle iron thing welded on to hold it, and that won't work with these rims. One of these days I have to modify that somehow. This clamp is about to come flying. Anyhow. Okay, yeah, that's loose. No need to go further. Okay, I guess part of the secret is knowing when to quit. So I went over the toolbox, got my 10mm socket, and it didn't fit. What a surprise. It's 7/16. I guess I've been working on the Rotax enough that in cars, modern cars, I even think now it's the English bolts that are the odd size. When this goes back together, it gets 50 foot-pounds. Okay, there it is. Not bad. This one actually looks better than the other side. There's some corrosion here and here. Not bad. I'm going to clean that up on a wire wheel. Now, my experience as a hillbilly tells me that with alloy wheels, if you own old cars like I do, they develop rim leaks from corrosion. You can take them apart and clean up the corrosion from the bead with a wire wheel, but then a year later they're just leaking again because whatever coating is on these things gets cleaned off when you wire wheel it, and then they just corrode that much faster. So I figure what I'll do with these is give them the same treatment I give my alloy wheels on cars, and that's basically a primer, zinc chromate or zinc phosphate, depends on what your local boat store has. Different stores carry different stuff. This was from West Marine. When I went to another store, I got some Tempo paint, zinc phosphate, prime it, paint it. Johnson Evinrude White. That's if you ever care. A lot of the rims of my cars are Evinrude White on the inside. And you don't even have to mask it. If you just, set it down on a piece of plywood and spray, it doesn't get under here where you see it. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, let's pop the other one out. That one is still a little bit stuck. Let me get a tire spoon. Well, I guess I didn't get this side as loose as I thought. Okay, so I put a chunk of 2x4 about that long sitting here in between these to give me a little more pushing room. I'm going to tighten both sides down so it doesn't slide off. There's always one stubborn side, right? Oh, that's off now. There's my chunk of 2x4. That wasn't half bad. Yeah, this one isn't too bad either. The other wheel was worse, but so clean them up, set them down, and you end up with, ta-da! I didn't do a super paint job, but shouldn't be corroding in there. So we should be able to put that back together and get to work. Okay. So I got the tire sitting here on 3 bar clamps. They're squeezed together so that all the beads almost touch through here. Right there it doesn't touch because you got the valve stem. I put the tube in first. Should back up. Made sure I had it pointing with the valve stem on the new outside because it'd be kind of silly to do all this and put it together the wrong way. Inflated it just a little bit to get the tube spread out evenly inside, let the air back out. The core is out at the moment. So now we should be able to put the rim halves in, drop it through, and it'll drop past this point so we don't pinch the tube because the tube's all out of the way at the moment. Put this in, the valve core goes through that hole there. Valve stem, I should say. Now, I don't know about whether or not Matco approves or disapproves of painting the rim like I did on the inside, but that's what works on my old junk cars. Oh, now this part went easy last time, of course. I think part of the trick is getting it lined up when you squeeze it down good enough, and it's squeezed so that the rim, the beads are almost touching, not quite. Hopefully everything's lined up enough. I can get the valve stem through the hole here in the wheel, and then the wheel through the tires. Seems like when you get it squeezed enough that the tube can't stick out, it pulls the valve stem in tight and it doesn't want to go into the wheel. So that's probably the downside to this method. Hold that like that. Now I should be able to slide that in. Ta-da! And pull that through. Now let's look underneath. Not quite there. I want to clamp this down a little bit. Okay, let me bring the camera down so you can see. Okay, so I got it pulled down so that the rim is past the slot for the bead, except for, well, right in here I can get my finger in there. That's about where the, where's the valve, yeah, the valve stem's right here. I think we're okay. I don't feel any tube sticking out anywhere. So let's see what happens when we try to put the bottom half in. This should be a key word. Just need to line up the holes. Okay. Let's just get to line up a little better. These all line up. Should just there's a, yeah, I should just go there. Just snug this up by hand, and then I can torque it to 50 inch-pounds. $14, good enough. Okay, so that's ready to go back on, and I think I'm going to wrap it up here because you've seen me pack bearings before. If you haven't, the video's on my channel, and put the tire on, and you know, basically you just pack the bearings, bolt the disc here. The spec for these I don't find in the drawing here. In terms of torque, the through bolts, like number 1, it says torque 50 inch-pounds. Did I say foot-pounds earlier? It's inch-pounds. So those are the bolts that hold the calipers together. Number 19 bolt, doesn't say, okay, I think it's with the nut. Nut is number 13. And again, that's 50 inch-pounds, but the three cap head screws here, number 20, socket head cap screw drilled. Yeah, it's drilled, and it's, you know, 1/4 20 thread, but it doesn't give me a torque on that. I'll just use the 50 inch-pounds as the others, because these are 1/4 20 and 1/4 28, so that seems good to me. I guess that's as far as I need to take this video. Hope you found it entertaining, a chance to learn from my mistakes. Putting it up on clamps, that's actually off of Matco's website, is a way to do it. Seemed to work. I don't hear air rushing out where I might have pinched something. I think we're good. So, till next time, have fun, and I'll catch you on the flip side.